Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be answering the next question and I'm going to be addressing a few points. The question is, who should be responsible for dealing with threats such as conflicts, natural disasters, and disputes? There are many following agents that we should also address. So I'm going to be addressing that on this video. First, when we're talking about global threats, probably like conflict, natural disasters, and disputes, they all require a multi-layered approach. This means that not a single group can handle everything. We cannot expect something to change if we are also not doing anything in favor to change it. We also should not be afraid to speak. We should always raise our voice to make some noise. Otherwise, the committees and the people that are responsible for this are not really going to do anything, because they say, okay, maybe there are no people that are really concerned about this. There are not people that are being affected by this. People on these committees, like the individual governments, are not really going to care. So we should first be raising our voice all the time, because it is part of our leadership. And yeah, it's what are we responsible as a community and as an individual to raise our voice for what we want to change, and also be working on the change itself. So first, we can talk about the first agents, that is individual governments and sovereign states and autonomous states. So because they have the legacy and the responsibility to protect their own citizens. So they can help us in conflicts and disputes, because they maintain policy forces and militaries. So they can provide us if we ever feel in danger. They can also help us in natural disasters, because they are responsible for controlling the infrastructure, like hospitals, fire departments, and emergency funds. So we should reach to them if we are ever on one of these cases when there's a natural disasters hitting us, because natural disasters do not really warn us, they just happen. So that is something we should take note. And then we have the United Nations and what it embodies. As we know, the United Nations acts as global coordinator, because it is not only about one country, it is about every country in the world. When a problem is too big for one country, it involves multiple nations that can also help us. Because they have a human rights council. They monitor and report abuses during conflicts to hold leaders accountable and to make them to charge them if they ever do something illegal. We also have peacekeeping, because they care also about peace, and the United Nations can send blue helmets. This means that they help you to maintain ceasefires in disputed zones. So if we ever have a problem in our nation and it is involving others, we can reach to them as well. And UNICEF also talks about on the vulnerable children, who are often the hardest hit by disasters or war. So sometimes, like if we ever have a case where we know about children that are suffering, we can also reach to them. So also non-governmental organizations can help us in specific, because they provide expert help such as emergency medical care or clean water systems. And business and corporations, historically businesses stayed out of this business normally, but now they're really helping, and they're being part of the change, because they help us in resources like, for example, satellite data or communication tools during disasters to help rescuers and find survivors, and security and law, because they can help us in security firms, law firms, and to prevent future disputes. And now, finally, as individuals, we should really care about donating or being part of the advocacy by voting or protesting, because otherwise nothing is gonna really change, and we are more being part of a community than business. So it is part of our job to also change our behavior.